mistakes, and we would, like somebody said ahead of us, that we would achieve more in life than he was able to. And believe me, nobody's going to do that, because he was a very accomplished man. He was a great role model, not only to his children, but to all of us who were lucky enough to be in his life. He lived a long, happy, content life. Like I said before, he was full of wisdom, and he was very accomplished in everything he put his hands on. He has touched thousands of lives via his teaching, mentoring, and I think just being himself. He had no malice in his heart for anything or anyone around him. Simply put, he's God sent. He respected and cherished everybody. And the one thing I learned about him the most was he held to old-fashioned values, discipline, integrity, hard work, especially hard work. I learned quite a bit from him just by watching him from afar and watching him live his life. He's had a hand in his own way in shaping me in who I am. I'll always be thankful for growing up around him and the lasting memories that I have of him that I can fall back on. Just want to say thank you to him for being there for me. Never judging me, respecting me, but nurturing me along the way, not only in his life, but in my path and my life. And having been around him all my life, I just hope one day, just one day, when my time comes and I can look back and realize that I lived my life like he did, with no regrets, and more importantly, loved, cared, and provided for my family and my friends and my loved ones, like my beloved Dr. Radhesham Das. Then and only then, I would have lived and led a complete life. Jai Shri Krishna.
I told you. That's what a son does. Those are the words that son says. Okay, we're limited on time. We've probably got about 15 minutes and we have to go through. So we're going to start with Alina. Alina, or as Papa used to reference her as Alu Baby, is my dad's youngest grandchild. Come on up and I'll stand up.
Hello everyone, my name is Elena and I'm the youngest grandchild of our Papa. My Tata's radiant smile, comforting embrace, and constant pride in my accomplishments are just some of the wonderful things I will never forget. I consider myself very lucky to have spent so many precious moments with him. One of my favorite memories I had with Tata growing up was gardening with him in his backyard. Even though I would think of it as a chore, looking back at it now, I realize how happy crashing with me. I will hang on to these small yet important memories that will help remind me of the extraordinary grandfather I was blessed to have. I love you and miss you so much, Tata. There is so much that can be said about a man who commands the love and respect of everyone he comes in contact with. Family, friends, colleagues, friends of their children, friends of their grandchildren. As I tried to think of those very words that were deserving of my Tata, all I could think about were his soft hands, the softest hands in the world. His 3 kisses right here, here, and here. And the way he would absolutely light up when any of us walked into the room. Words could not sum it up, even if I tried. Tata, you fought hard to stay with us because you knew that we were not ready to let you go. You fought for each and every one of us, and you won. Because last Wednesday, all 6 of your grandchildren sat by your side, feeling grateful for every way that you have enriched our lives, and feeling closer than ever to the lessons and values that you have instilled in our minds and our hearts. I will never stop loving and cherishing everything that you were to this world and to us. And I thank God that I was blessed with 24 years of memories with you. I will think of you every time I kiss my own grandchildren, here, here, and here. I love you, Tata. Rest in paradise.
Those are my girls, Alina and Ekta. Next, we have Amar Karan. Second to the youngest, and then Arjun Karan, my dad's beloved grandson.
Hi. We're just going to keep this relatively short. So me and my brother are just going to say a few words about that. In the depths of poverty, Tata had the courage, fortitude, and mental capability to change his life for the better. We thank him for teaching us to always push our boundaries and to never settle for mediocrity. He had the courage to leave his country and abandon everything he knew and loved. It's our sincerest hope that we have half the ambition and courage he did to accomplish everything that he did accomplish in his life. Along with this outgoing persona, he had a sense of humor that added a sort of charisma that will forever remain the essence of his character.
We're so grateful that we were a part of his life and that he will forever be a part of ours. We will never forget the times where he sat us down for what felt like forever, telling us the meanings of our names, or the times where he gave us books and shoes and showed us pictures from JPL. We will treasure those moments forever, and we will never let him down. Thank you.
Okay. Next is Devesh Deepu. Jen, come up here with them. Okay, so the 2 white ones. I think you'll figure out by the names that that's Jen and Steve. And my dad's oldest granddaughter, Anjali. And second one, Devesh. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Devesh. I was very blessed to spend my entire life with my grandparents. Every day when we were young, especially at my sister and I, we spent every day with them, and they really were our second set of parents. And you can say a lot about him. Obviously, a lot of people have a lot of stories about him, and much more suited to talk about that than I am. But because to me, he was my tata. He was just my grandpa. I look at him as an accomplished individual when I was younger. Actually, my first memories of him weren't really like glamorous. It was just three things. One, don't bother him when he came home from work. He loved my grandmother's cooking like a lot, and he was the only person in my small world back then that actually liked eating Wheaties cereal in the morning, and to me that was baffling. But as I grew up and got to know him and developed a relationship with him, he was a really wise man, and a lot of things that he said shaped me to who I am today. And he was kind enough to give me advice for my own family down the line. Especially in the past few years, we had a lot of private conversations, and he would talk to me, guide me. And one of the things that he said to me that stuck with me a couple years ago was he was asking me about when he's going to see his great-grandchildren. Not yet. And I said, not yet. And he looked at me, he smiled, he's like, hey man, I'm a setting sun. And I was like, wow. He always had a way with words, but that just stuck with me. And every time I saw him after that, I was just reminded of what he said, and it just made whatever time we did have with him more special. And seeing everyone who showed up today to celebrate his life, I've never seen a more beautiful sunset, so thank you for that.
Hi everyone. I'm going to try to get through this. Sorry if I start crying. I'm the oldest grandkid, so I had the most time with him. And I'm really lucky. I had 34 years with my grandpa, so I was able to give him great-grandchildren, and that really warms my heart because he got to see his family grow, and he loved every single one of us. Everyone knows all of his accomplishments and how intelligent he was, but to me he was not that. He was my grandpa. He was my only living grandpa, so it made him more special. I didn't get to know my other grandfather, unfortunately, so I knew how special he was. And, you know, for 5 years, I had him all to myself, so I was like his fifth child. He was always really sweet and warm with me, and with all of us. Gave us famous kisses, soft hands. His face would just light up whenever he saw any of us. Like, he was just so happy. And I just felt a lot of love and pride when I would see him with Jacob and Jaden. He just, every morning, you know, we were lucky enough the last few years to live with him. Every day the boys go in, just sit with him and love him, and it just warmed my heart. I hope he's at peace right now, he's not suffering anymore, and that he's free. That makes me happy, even though we'll all miss him. And I know I'll see him again. I just want to thank everybody for coming out here today and paying your respects to him. He would have loved this. He really would have. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.